It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today I'm going to talk to you about a new theme. What I'm doing is I'm experimenting with different types of subset teams. So we all know about the popular metas, we know about the counters to certain teams, we also know about old metas that we can find in documents and references, and I was trying out some of those today. And funnily enough, none of the old metas really work against some of the new meta teams, even if you have them at level 70. So it just goes to show that the old metas, as much as they were good at the time, they really were dated to the specific format that was available at that time. So what I'm experimenting with instead is specific themed styled teams to go against not only current meta, but hopefully future meta teams as well. So what you see here is Crunchy Chip Cookie and Snow Sugar Cookie. And the reason those two are there is that they are attack speed reduction cookies. Now, there is one other that I want to use, but no matter how much I tested at level 41, I just couldn't really do much. So that would be Devil Cookie. And Devil Cookie is kind of special because not only is there attack speed reduction, but there's movement reduction too. And that does matter for specific range and grid style based attacks. So Devil Cookie will be one that I want to raise up for this because it does actually make a difference. When I did test it, it was actually quite interesting to see. And it was actually most effective against teams that had Caramel Arrow in it because Caramel Arrow gets the stacks of the arrows based on attack speed. So if you can lower the attack speed, you lower the overall stacks that even happen in the first place. In addition, the lower you get the attack speed, the lower the animation of all other cookies are as well. So that's an interesting part too. Now, another reason, the way we have our team set up, Affogato is here for a debuff amplifier in essence. So if you remember Affogato, any debuffs are amplified. So it will also receive amplified debuffs. And this is just to the person that gets targeted with Affogato's spell, but that's okay because amplification of a debuff is just only going to help our calls even better. Now on the reverse side of things, we have Mint as our healer because we want attack speed running up the units that are trying to take out the other team. So not only do we want to lower their attack speed, we want to increase ours. And then last but not least, Dark Cow as a heavy health body and a shield removing cookie because shields are still very popular with a Claire in the meta currently. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our team against this. This one, they only have a level 11 scroll, but they do have an insignia. So they have one healer and insignia, and they have two legendaries, an ancient and a Claire, almost in the level 70 marks. And we only have 3 level 70s and 2 level 60s. So it's almost equal playing field as far as the team levels. There just is a difference in power, but I can say the biggest reason of that is the critical toppings that are on Dark Cacao and on Affogato Cookie, whereas the others are running some chocolates, so that's really where most of the power is coming from. So we're going to run it, and I'm going to show you what happens. So as you can see, we're going to slow it down. As battle starts, Crunchy Chip does the attack. Snow King comes out, hopefully before Snow Sugar dies. That's a hard part of Snow Sugar and why I actually want to run Devil Cookie, but yet again, I just need level. And as you can see, their animations are overall slowing down. And that is making it so that we are getting more damage output and receiving less attacks from their side. So it's a very unique style of debuffs. This won't work if they have Herb, because Herb will just purify it. It won't work very well if they have the Monocle, because the Monocle can purify it. There's a few different ways to counter this easily. So I'm not saying this is like the perfect team. It's just a very interesting team. So if we go against another setup, that won't be fair because they have too low of treasures, so I won't do that one. Let's see what this person has. Same thing, 2 low of treasures. Let's go up to here. Okay, so this is an interesting one. They have good treasures, and they actually specifically have an attack speed team. So let's see if we can counter their attack speed by lowering it. So Wildberry and Caramel Arrow are going to be the two main meta cookies in this team of theirs. And as you can see, we do lose Snow Sugar. The monocle helps keep the remaining cookies alive on our side. And we have started to slow them down. You can see their cookies not moving quite as fast. Now, they still apparently have enough power to persist through. So it still did not work enough for them. But yet again, full level 70 team, full setup, could be better. And let's look at the stats of it. So Caramel Arrow, you can see, was brought down a lot. Honestly, the biggest counter to our team here was Wildberry. So it looks like between Snow Sugar and Crunchy Chip just dealing all those stacks on Wildberry, that was the biggest reason our team lost. So if they didn't have Wildberry, we might have actually taken this match. And so that's a really interesting thing to think. I don't find this team to be a counter against Wildberry, so don't take it as that unless you get lucky. But that is the likely reason that we lost that match. Now we'll try one more team. That's not a fair team. That is a single cookie. Let's go with this one. Yet again, not fair. They don't have high enough treasure levels, so I don't deem that a fair matchup. Okay, here's a good one. They're running Wizard Cookie at level 70. They are running Herb, so let's see how this one works, and we'll compare stats. Main thing here, though, is that we're just trying to reduce their animations, reduce their attack speed. If we can do that, then we have the match in a lot better position for us. Gives Mint more time to heal, Monocle more time to activate. It just overall helps us, reducing that attack speed. So, yeah, we are going to take this one. Now let's look at the stats, though, see what happened. So specifically, Dark Cacao was our carry of damage. Crunchy and Affogato did very good, too. Snow Sugar really was just there for the sake of attack speed reduction. Yet again, if I can get level 70 Devil Cookie, I will actually put Devil Cookie in this team instead of Snow Sugar, because Snow Sugar has a really long activation period and is a little squishy in health. Devil is in the same health category, however, the activation is so quick. So, I mean, it makes sense. Like, overall, it makes sense how to run it. So if we look at the healing, we had more healing because we slowed them down. We slowed their entire team down. Their Caramel Arrow did still do good damage, but not nearly as much as it could have done in 34 seconds. Usually that kind of damage is done within about 17 to 20 seconds from Caramel Arrow, if properly set up right. So, as you can see, it's an interesting team. It's a unique one. If I can get everyone to level 70, if I can get Devil Cookie to level 70, if I can get better toppings, because as you can see, the toppings for Crunchy Chip are still not pushed up high enough. There's no damage resistance on Mint, so that could be better. And Affogato is really mostly concentrated for Guild Battle, so I'd have to do a whole different topping set just specifically for this team setup. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is there any specific team themes that maybe you want to see in the future? Anything that I should experiment with? Either way, this was fun to run. It's definitely not your traditional team. It's only using maybe 2 meta cookies right now. All the rest are just thrown in for the sake of the theme itself, so they're not really meta. So it is something interesting to see. But I would love to hear your feedback, and thank you again so much for stopping by and watching. Have a good night.